That horse came in yesterday and you're already working him. You didn't even give him a chance to settle in. Well, when I have a horse that comes in with a problem, a behavior problem, no, I really don't want to give him a chance to settle in. Kimber here came in last week, and I don't believe he had ever been in a barn before or had never been in a stall before, and he was sweating a good bit. He came from Kentucky, which isn't, their environment right now isn't that much different. It's a little warmer, but it's not that warm. But I think the stimulation of more horses around, maybe, I'm not really sure exactly what, but he was acting a little worried. He was sweating a little bit. So this, I hadn't worked him. I worked the other horse that came with him. That's the one that I did the live on Thursday. That horse came with this horse. So I wanted to give this horse a little more time to acclimate because of how he was acting. So I'm going to saddle him up today, and today will be the first time that I've ridden him. You can see he still has a good bit of his winter coat. He needs a good bath, but he was sweating. So that's why you see why it looks like he's been wet. Because it's from sweat. Now I think that's about over. Maybe his worries, his nervousness is over. So I'll go ahead and get him cleaned up a little bit. His story is he is, I believe, an 8-year-old walking horse is what they told me. He's definitely one of the bigger walking horses that I've ever seen. He is definitely gaited. You'll see when we get on and get moving. And he has this hump on his back, around his hip. Born that way. Vet says that it's not an issue. That's just how he is. And then I have this pad. This is what the pad that the owner has been using. The owner has been riding him. Has that cutout right there. So we don't put pressure on it. It looks like I might want to adjust the cutout a little bit, but we'll see. What the owner said was that he is pretty broke. Actually has quite a few trail miles on him. But we want to get his steering a little better. Just kind of advance him a little bit. See what we got. You saw right there when I threw the saddle up there. He kind of flinched a little bit. So I'd like to get him a little less reactive. Maybe do some ranch obstacles with him, just to let him see some different things. But you see, as I'm working around him, flipping stuff around, he'll react a little bit. Didn't that time, he did the first time. So we'll just see what we can do as far as getting a little broker. Now let's move his feet. The owner said that he has been riding him and has taken him on some pretty serious trail rides. So I expect him to not do anything bad, but we don't really know what he knows. He sounds like he's basically what I would consider green broke. And I did a blog article not too long ago talking about what I consider green broke and what it takes to get a horse past green broke and get the foundation training on them that they need to be more broke than just green broke, which I think is where he is. I hope this bridle is big enough. That one ear is over here. It's supposed to be on the right, but I'm just going to put it there for today. Let's see if it even fits him. Oh yeah, that will work. It's on its biggest hole. I'd like to work on getting him to put his head down some. We'll work on that as we work through stuff. It could be a hole lower. Now that's a good thing to note. Like I just said, it could be a hole lower. It's pretty snug in his mouth. There's actually a couple of wrinkles. But when I look in his mouth, it's only sitting a 1/2 inch above his canine teeth. So if I was to lower it down any, it would be bumping his canine tooth. So that's just an important thing. Whenever you're, got a hair in my mouth. Whenever you're adjusting the bit, always look in the horse's mouth. The depth of the mouth varies, where the bars are vary. So you need to know how the mouth is structured. Normally I would not put wrinkles in the mouth like this, but for the bit to not be bumping his canine teeth, that's where it needs to be. So that's what I'm gonna go with. I pooped on my driving line. You didn't want to drive today, did you? So the owner said that he had been riding a snaffle bit, so that's what I have on him, just a plain D-ring snaffle. And we'll see what happens. I will attach the reins to the bit because that's what the owner said he has been doing. Get my lead rope over the saddle horn here. There's a couple different ways you can tie that off. It really doesn't make a lot of difference one way or another. He blew out a lot of air. Tighten the saddle a little bit. Saddle seems to fit him pretty good so far. This is the same saddle that I used on the Percherons when I had them here in training. But the interesting thing to note is this saddle fits him good. It fits those Percherons pretty good, but it's too narrow for Denali. Doesn't fit Denali very good. So it's hard to guess. That's why people ask, well, what saddle do you think I should use on this horse, and send me a picture. Well, it's a lot more that goes into it than just seeing a picture. I'll just stand here a minute, see what he does. He seems like he understands the process, like he knows what's coming next. I feel like I could use about 3 more steps to get my leg up there. Whew, might get a nosebleed all the way up here. I haven't measured him yet. I'm going to at some point. This is a tall horse. So let's ask him to walk off forward to the left. He feels like he wants to be good. He has just kind of, well, the first couple of days he was here, 2 days or so, he just kind of generally worried a little bit. Nothing bad, just a little concerned. Since then, he's settled in. There's a balance there. A lot of the horses that come in here for me to work have a problem of some sort. Not all of them, but some of them do. And I get a lot of questions or comments about, that horse came in yesterday and you're already working him. You didn't even give him a chance to settle in. Well, when I have a horse that comes in with a problem, a behavior problem, no, I really don't want to give them a chance to settle in. I want to go ahead and start addressing the problem before they become settled in and confident, and it's just easier to address the problem that way. This horse really don't have a problem, according to the owner, and I haven't seen a problem yet. We just want to see if we can get him a little more broker. I'd like to have Raven spend some time with him and get him what I call Raven broke. If you've seen Raven messing with her horse Bug or Denali, all the things that we're able to do on Denali, that's because of Raven. She's the one that's done most of the work. We can crack a whip off of him, carry a flag. Haven't shot off of him, but I don't think that would be any problem. Put a little effort. Not really asking for anything special other than just walk forward with a little more effort. I think we're going to need to work on his steering just a little bit. It's not real bad, but he's not as soft as I would like him to be. It sure is a nice ride. Go through the middle and go the other way. He's very relaxed. You can probably see in his head swinging. He's not worried at all about what I'm asking him to do. It's a lot of walking horses that I've ridden, and kind of a lot of the saddle breeds in general. They're pretty go-y horses. They have a lot of go. You have to kind of hold them back a little bit. This one's pretty laid back. Kind of like this one. It's different. So now that I've seen kind of what he is, make sure that he is as broke as I was expecting him to be. Never really know what holes I'm going to find until we start working with him. So I think I'm going to adjust the cutout on his pad a little bit, and we're going to start desensitizing him and bring him along, and in the process work on his steering a little bit. So this is Kimber. I'll put a link up here to his playlist on YouTube so you can follow his training progress. Till next time, thank you for watching. Oh, that's a long ways down. ground took way too long to come up to me. I mean, this is what the owner has been riding him in. Very simple way to fix or to work around his conformation issue, which is basically, that's all this is a conformation issue. This horse just came in yesterday. This is the first time I've put my hands on him and messed with him. I'm just about to, wanted to brush him a little bit. He was pretty worried it had not been stalled much or ever. He was in a stall last night. We're going to turn him out here in just a minute. So I wanted to get him out and mess with him a little bit. He's a little bit just worried about being in the barn. Not a huge deal, but I want to talk about this. I'm going to show it to you. I'm sure you'll see it in some of his videos coming up in the future. His spine sticks up right there. Pretty good bit. He has been checked by a vet. There's no issues there. It's not causing him a problem. He's obviously a very tall horse. I haven't measured him yet. I probably will at some point. Very tall. He is a Tennessee walking horse. It's unusual. That tall for a walking horse isn't that unusual, but that tall and that thick for a walking horse is pretty unusual. So by getting him out, spending a few minutes brushing on him, he's relaxing. He's a broke horse. He's had a lot of miles on him, but has not been stalled a lot. Has not been in a barn a lot. He's mainly kept out. So I wanted to get his confidence up, interact with him a little bit. And I'm going to show you the pad that I had the owner leave with me. This is what the owner has been riding him in. Very simple way to fix or to work around his conformation issue, which is basically, that's all this is a conformation issue. So he took this saddle pad and just did a cutout back here, just like some saddle pads are cut out up here. Cut it out back there. That way the pad and the saddle doesn't sit on the bump, and that bump doesn't get, hey, that bub doesn't get more pressure than what it needs to be, because we don't need to put any pressure. We don't want to make any sores. Quit. We don't want to create that into a problem. And horses have conformation defaults all the time. I see them all the time. People look at horses and they don't see all the conformation defaults. I rarely see a horse come in that doesn't have some sort of conformation fault. Doesn't mean it ever affects the horse. 99% of the time, it's never a problem. This is one you see some in the English world. Don't really see it too much in walking horses. And it's not really causing him a problem, but we have adjusted to it so that it doesn't become a problem. So I'm going to give him a little bit of turnout time, and I'll saddle him up and ride him later. His name is Kimber, and I'll be posting some more videos of him in the future so you can see what he's like. Until next time, thank you for watching.